What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel, and today we're going to talk about the game from that September Nintendo Direct that happened at this point over a month ago that I don't think enough people are talking about. And it's one that I am very excited about. Mario Tennis Fever. The first game from Camelot Software in 5 years since they released Mario Golf Super Rush for the Nintendo Switch, and the first Mario sports game of the Switch 2 generation. I haven't seen a lot of people talking about this one, and it makes sense because, you know, whether it is the ample amount of controversy coming out of that Nintendo Direct for whatever reason, or the announcements of games like Mario Galaxy 1+2 and Fire Emblem Fortune's Weave and that Yoshi game with the stupid title, there were a lot of things to be excited about from that Nintendo Direct that I think Mario Tennis Fever got kind of swept under the rug, or served under the rug, tennis pun. That's a high-level move for those of you who aren't into the sport. But I am excited for this game, and it's actually, I think, a game more people should be excited for, not only because of the content we saw in the trailer, but also because it's coming out sooner than most of the games Nintendo announced at that Direct, right? A lot of these games got vague 2025 or even spring 2025 windows, but this game is coming out in February, so we're only a few months away from the next entry in the Mario Sports franchise, and I'm super jazzed for it. Not only because I am a big Mario Sports fan, but because I think they're offering a lot of cool content here that could make this perhaps the best Mario Sports game yet. Oh, I knew I had a nasty burp coming on. I was just trying to get that line out. So today I just want to talk about what we saw in that trailer and frame it in a sort of discussion and speculation way. What characters are we going to see in this game? What do I want to see from the side modes and the single player modes? What characters do I want to see join the roster? We're going to talk about all of that today, and again, I will give you my official roster prediction for Mario Tennis Fever. Make sure to leave yours in the comments below, because it's the first thing we're going to talk about here in the video, and that is the fact that there are 38 playable characters in Mario Tennis Fever, the most, I would imagine, in series history, and a lot more than a game like Mario Tennis Aces had in its base roster. It ended up having, I believe, close to 30 characters by the end, but a lot of those characters were free updates that you would unlock through playing online. But no, it seems as though 38 characters are going to be available in the base game for Mario Tennis Fever, which in my opinion is a massive upgrade over Mario Tennis Aces. Not only because having more characters is cool, but because you don't have to unlock them through tournaments like you had to in Mario Tennis Aces and Mario Golf Super Rush, which was really annoying. As much as I like playing online, I think restricting content like characters and like alternate costumes to the online mode is disappointing, because if you happen to miss a tournament 1 month because another game comes out, or I don't know, you have other things to do with your life, you just don't get that skin or that character. And there were some pretty wacky characters that they offered up as DLC characters in those tournaments. So overall, I'm just glad we're seemingly getting away from that. Obviously, online will still be a big component of this game. I'd imagine most of these modes that you can play will be playable online, but I'm glad it doesn't seem like they're locking a lot of content behind these online modes. Let's talk about who could be on that roster of 38 playable characters for Mario Tennis Fever. Ironically enough, we know half of them. 19 characters were shown off in that debut trailer in the Nintendo Direct last month, and they are as follows: Mario, Luigi, Peach, Yoshi, Pauline, Donkey Kong, Rosalina, Luma, Toadette, Daisy, Birdo, Waluigi, Petey Piranha, Bowser, Boo, Shy Guy, Chain Chomp, Blooper, and Spike. I don't think any of those picks are necessarily surprising, though it is good to see two characters like Pauline and Spike playable, because they were not playable in Mario Tennis Aces, and it seems like Nintendo, especially with Pauline, is doing a lot to push these characters to their audience and make them a bigger part of the Mario cast. Even Spike was playable in a game like Jamboree and Mario Kart World. Pauline, of course, has been in practically every Mario game in the Switch and Switch 2 generation, and of course was arguably the star of Donkey Kong Bonanza. So it's cool to see her here. So again, those are 19 characters that we know for sure are going to be in the game. Here's where the fun starts. We're going to speculate who those other 19 characters could be, and let's start with an easy 5, I think. We saw in the trailer that we are getting a story mode, and in that story mode, Mario and his friends are turned into babies. And seemingly you only play as Baby Mario, but it seems like in that story mode, Baby Mario, Baby Luigi, Baby Peach, Baby Wario, and Baby Waluigi are going to play pivotal roles. We saw all 5 of those baby characters in that animated cutscene that they showed in the trailer. And if they're going through the hassle of making playable animated 3D models for these characters, I gotta imagine they are going to be playable in the main tennis mode. It just feels like, I don't even want to say a missed opportunity, because I'm not necessarily on my hands and knees begging to play as baby characters again, but it just seems like an easy 5 to add, to pad the roster as they are doing here. So that would make 24 if all 5 of those babies get in. And by the way, I would be stoked to play as Baby Waluigi, because he's new. I think that's cool. Baby Wario is like kind of new. He was in, I believe, Dr. Mario, like the mobile game. So he's like kind of new too. Baby Mario, Baby Luigi, Baby Peach, the old news with those 3. But it is cool to see the little gremlins, Wario and Waluigi, get baby-fied. I'm down for that. I also do think we're going to see Baby Rosalina, just because I think she is on the level of icon that these other babies are. Baby Rosalina has been in a lot, most recently Mario Kart World. I don't see any reason why she wouldn't be in this one. I will say it is kind of weird that if I'm right and Baby Rosalina is going to show up here, I don't know why they wouldn't have just shown her off, but maybe they want to have a secret, surprise baby character for the story. Who knows how deep this baby-centric story is going to get. It could get pretty crazy, and Rosalina could be involved in that. So I do think we are going to get Baby Rosalina, and that would mean that we'd get 6 babies on that roster, and that would bring our total to 25. I also do think it's possible that we get Baby Daisy and Baby Pauline. I'm not going to put them on my roster prediction because I don't think we're going to get 8 babies. I think that would be a little bit overkill. But I do think there's a chance both of those show up in the story mode. Baby Pauline, obviously, we haven't seen before, I don't believe. Baby Daisy was in Mario Kart World. Also, this story mode is not going to be that long, right? Judging off of Aces and Super Rush, I don't think this is going to be more than a 10 or 15 hour story at most. That's about how long it took me to get through Super Rush's campaign. And if that's the case, if this is a 5 to 15 hour story, let's say, do they really have time to introduce 8 different babies? I'm not sure. So I don't think there's going to be Baby Daisy or Baby Pauline, but there is certainly a chance that they could add those baby characters as well. I'm going to go with 6, though. I think we're going to get Baby Mario, Luigi, Peach, Wario, Waluigi, and Rosalina playable. So again, that will bring our total to 25 out of 38. We still have 13 slots to fill, and I think the next most plausible thing is to go to Mario Tennis Aces roster and see what characters we think are going to return from that game. So here are all of the Mario Tennis Aces characters we did not see in Mario Tennis Fever's first trailer. Koopa, Diddy, Toad, Koopa Paratroopa, Bowser Jr., Boom Boom, Kamek, Dry Bones, Fire Piranha Plant, and Dry Bowser. So I've got 5 characters from that group that I think are going to make the roster, that I think are pretty likely I would consider them. The one I would consider the most likely, I think, is Toad. He's been in a lot of Mario Tennis games in the past, and they have his model in the game because he's seen in the trailer as an umpire. So I think it would make sense for him to be in Fever as well. And Toadette's in the game, so it'd be odd to have Toadette and not Toad. I think he's going to be on the roster. The next 2 characters I have here are Koopa and Koopa Paratroopa. Now, I believe you can see Koopa in the story mode holding a racket. It might be Paratroopa, I forget. Whichever one of them is the case, they already have a Koopa model holding a racket in the story mode. I think it makes too much sense to put them in the roster and make them playable in the main tennis mode. And again, both of these characters were in Aces, so it would make sense for them to return. Next, we've got Drybones. Drybones is another character that has been in a lot of Mario spin-offs. Again, he was in Aces. You can see an ad in the trailer for Drybones Osteopathic Clinic, so he's being referenced in iconography there. And he just had a big role in Mario Kart World, right? He was playable as a... Was he playable as a racer? I actually don't remember. But he did have a stage. I know that for sure. Drybones had a big, awesome stage in Mario Kart World. Makes sense to have him on the Mario Tennis Fever roster. I think Diddy Kong is another character that would make sense. He was a character we had in Mario Tennis Aces, like I said, and he just reappeared in Donkey Kong Bonanza, so it would make sense to keep the Diddy hype train rolling. And finally, the next Aces veteran I think is likely to make the Fever roster is, of course, Bowser Jr. I said earlier Toad is the most likely. I would take that back. I think Bowser Jr. is obviously the most likely Aces veteran we have yet to see confirmed that would return in Mario Tennis Fever, just because he's such an iconic character. I mean, when's the last time Bowser Jr. wasn't in a Mario spin-off game? He will be on the roster, for sure. That brings our total to 31. I do want to quickly address the Mario Tennis Aces veterans that I said are not likely to return for Mario Tennis Fever, and explain a little bit why I see them as not likely. I don't see Boom Boom as likely to return. I know Aces was a Switch game, but Boom Boom to me feels like a relic of the 3DS and Wii U era. Doesn't feel like he's really in the spotlight anymore, and I'd be surprised if he returned for Mario Tennis Fever. I think it's a similar story with Dry Bowser. I know he first appeared in New Super Mario Bros. For the DS, but he does feel like a relic of the 3DS and Wii U era. Doesn't seem like a character they would bring back for Mario Tennis Fever. I think Kamek is certainly possible to return, but he is just absent from this trailer entirely, and I think that's a little suspicious. Like, why would you not even have him as, I don't know, like a ref or some part of the story mode? It's just odd that he is not in the trailer at all, and I don't know if that means he is more likely to be a character or less likely to be a character. I lean on less likely because Kamek is such a significant character, I feel like, in the Mario canon, that if he's not in this debut trailer at all for Mario Tennis Fever, I feel like he might just be skipping out on the festivities this time around. So with my additions of Toad, Koopa Paratroopa, Drybones, Diddy Kong, and Bowser Jr., our roster has been brought up to 31 playable characters. Wait, Oh, Wario. Okay, so I just looked over my roster predictions here, and I realized I was one short. And I was like, why am I missing someone? And it's because somehow Wario wasn't in that trailer. We didn't see Wario in the initial Mario Tennis Fever trailer, so technically he's not confirmed. I wasn't even going to bring him up here, but I guess it should be said that Wario is the other Mario Tennis Aces veteran that will certainly come back in Mario Tennis Fever. I mean, his baby is in this game. Waluigi was in the reveal trailer, but not Wario. That is really weird. Unless the wiki just missed him. I was going off the wiki's list. So yeah, Wario is going to be in this game as well. And then one more character that I think is going to be added to the roster that is not a Mario Tennis Aces veteran is, of course, Ninja, who has had a big push in the back half of the Switch's lifespan as a character Nintendo seems to want to incorporate in the Mario, roster more than they have been in years past. He was in Mario Wonder, he was in Mario Jamboree, there's a new mini-game with Ninja in the Wonder Switch 2 edition. I think it makes a lot of sense for him to join the fray here in Mario Tennis Fever. So I'm going to put him on the roster as well. And with that addition of Ninja, in addition to Wario, who somehow I forgot about, that brings our roster to 33. I've named 33 characters I think will be on the roster for Mario Tennis Fever, meaning there are 5 spots left. And I want to do something fun here. I could predict the 5 most likely characters, I suppose, to join the fray here in Mario Tennis Fever, but instead I'm going to give you 5 characters that I want to see, and I'll add them to my official roster prediction, just to feel something. just to feel like Nintendo cares about what I want. So I'm gonna list my top 5 realistic picks that I'd like to see in Mario Tennis Fever. I'm not gonna be that annoying guy and pick Gino or Vivian or whatever. We're gonna go with 5 characters I think would make sense for the roster that I would still be super excited for. The first 3 are characters from Super Mario Bros. Wonder, and 3 characters we saw in the initial reveal trailer for Fever, just not characters we saw playing. These characters are the Poplin, the Talking Flower, and Prince Florian. Would 3 Mario Wonder characters be overkill? Perhaps it would, but I love Mario Wonder so much, and this does seem to be a Mario Wonder inspired tennis game, just in the fact that a lot of Mario Wonder characters are involved, and there are even some Mario Wonder side modes. So why not have some Mario Wonder representation on the roster? I think any of these 3 would be good picks, but why not bring all 3 into the fray? I'm gonna add all 3 to my roster prediction: a Poplin, a Talking Flower, and Prince Florian. I think these are all great characters. Poplins are a little bit, standard, a little bit boring, but I still do like them. They're fun, they're cute. I love Prince Florian though. I think he's awesome. He's courageous, he's generous, he's got a big heart. He's just a fun sidekick for Mario, and then the Talking Flower is just hilarious. The red one is the commentator in the tower mode, but the orange one doesn't seem to have a specific role in Mario Tennis Aces, so I think he would be perfect as sort of a gag character, like a Chain Chomp, or like a blooper to add to the roster. I'm not sure how he would hold the racket, maybe with his mouth, sort of like Chain Chomp, that would be funny. And we know Nintendo is trying to push the Talking Flower. They're releasing a freaking toy of it that talks to you next year for whatever reason, so why not have that brand synergy and add him to Mario Tennis Fever? The final 2 are characters that would satisfy my 3D Mario fandom. The first one being Cappy. How has Cappy not been in a single freaking spin-off since Super Mario Odyssey? Super Mario Odyssey, which is, by the way, like the best-selling Mario game ever. Maybe the original sold more than it, but that game sold like 30-something million copies. A lot of people's image in their minds of Mario is with Cappy on his head, and yet this guy can't get any love. It's crazy. Put him in freaking Mario Tennis Fever. I've seen fan-made renders of him with a racket. It's perfectly natural. He's charismatic. He's got Riz. He's got a tiara girlfriend. Like, he is great. Why don't we expand his character a little bit and let him play some freaking tennis? The other 3D Mario character I have that I actually think could make a lot of sense is Lubba. He would be the 3rd Galaxy rep on this roster, in addition to Rosalina and Luma. And not only would it be good cross-promo for the Mario Galaxy movie and the Mario Galaxy double pack that is on store shelves right now, but I think he would also just be a good fit for Mario Tennis. He's big, he's fluffy, he floats around. I don't know, his vibe and his movements and his animations just sort of fit the Mario Tennis vibe to me. I don't really know why I think that, but just imagine him. You can see it in your head right now, right? If I tell you to imagine Lubba playing tennis, you can see it. He's floating around, he floats to the ball and hits it back to the other side. Like, there is a crystal clear image in your head of Lubba playing tennis, and you're lying to me if you're saying there's not. If you can't see anything, you're lying. You see him in your head right now. You see him playing tennis. It's a purple racket. Maybe it's got a blue handle. He's going and hitting the ball back and forth. I've got a perfectly clear image in my mind. Maybe it's because I can see into the future and I know that Lubba will be in the next Mario Tennis. I just think he would be a perfect fit, whether it be from a marketing perspective or a gameplay perspective or an aura perspective, because Lubba has plenty of that. I think it could be perfect for Mario Tennis Fever. And if we do get Lubba in the game, I think we could get some sort of galaxy racket, which would be cool. I don't know what it would do. Maybe it would like shoot star bits at your opponent, but I think that'd be cool as well. I also think DK characters would be cool. I don't think we're gonna get them, but like imagine a Void Kong, a K. Rool, spoiler, a Kid Pauline. I think those would be really cool to have on the roster as well, but I think they want to keep it mostly to Mario characters. DK and Diddy have sort of crossed over into Mario character realm, so they're okay, but I don't think any other characters are going to make the jump for Mario Tennis Fever. So those are the 38 characters, or at least 33 characters I think we'll see in Mario Tennis Aces. Those last 5 picks were a bit of hopeful picks, not necessarily analytical picks, but I'm gonna put them on the graphic anyway. And like I said, I did make a graphic for this, and these are the 38 characters I think we will see in Mario Tennis Fever. And looking at it here, I have the graphic pulled up in front of me. It'd be a pretty strong roster. I mean, there's characters from all sorts of different series, there's enemies, there's heroes, there's babies, there's hats, there's something for everybody. So I hope that the final roster looks something like this. I think about 30 of the picks are pretty easy, but it's those last 8 to 10 that get pretty interesting, and I do hope they get a little wacky with it. I would also love if there was just one baby character slot and each baby was a different alternate costume, you know? So the babies would only take up 1 slot as opposed to 6 like I have it here, but that seems a little bit too hopeful. Speaking of costumes though, I would love to see them expand alternate costumes a little bit more than they did in the Switch era Mario sports games. Sometimes you would get alternate skins and costumes from online tournaments and stuff like that, but in Mario Tennis Aces, most characters didn't even have an alternate costume. Sure, you could get different colors of Yoshi and you could get Mario and Luigi's overall costumes, but most characters didn't have any alternate costumes at all. I would love it if every character had at least one alternate costume, if not a few. I think that would be really cool, and it would go even further towards expanding what I think is a really diverse and cool character selection pool for Mario Tennis Fever. So I hope they expand the costume idea, and I hope they don't lock any of that stuff behind the online tournament modes, especially don't have them for a limited time. If you're gonna lock them behind the online, I suppose that's fine, but just don't make it so that you have to unlock them within a month or they're gone, because I don't think that would be a good idea. I did not like that in Tennis Aces and Golf Super Rush. Now let's go over the other 3 aspects from that reveal trailer that I found interesting. I don't have as many things to say about these because we didn't get as much information on them, but I'm still excited to see where these could take us, and I'll give my thoughts here briefly on each. The first one is the Fever Racket mechanic. There's going to be 30 different rackets, and you select one racket to pair with your selected character. Now, they showed us 12 of the 30 rackets in the reveal trailer. The Bullet Bill racket, the Ice racket, the Mini Mushroom racket, the Shadow racket, okay, some of these don't have actual names. A fire-themed racket with a lava bubble emblem racket. That could be a cool one. Yeah, I'm not going to read out these sentences the wiki has listed. You can see them on screen, but we know about 12 of them, and I do think this is a fun little mechanic. It definitely is going to cause a lot of chaos during matches, and I like how much variety there is, right? There's 38 different characters with different, weight classes and speeds and whatever, and you can pair them with 30 different rackets. I don't know how many permutations that is, but I'm sure it's well in the hundreds, and it just makes for so much replayability. Sure, there will probably be a combo that is optimal and that you will see non-stop in online tournaments, but it's just going to be fun to experiment, especially with friends locally or online, or just with randoms who aren't, sweating in the online tournaments trying to get S rank or whatever. And it'll be fun to learn what some of these do. I mean, there's a green cap block shaped racket like the cap block from Mario 64. Who knows what that could do? Maybe it makes your opponent fly off the stage, or maybe it makes the ball fly in a weird way. I don't know. It's not really worth speculating. I do think this is a cool mechanic, but there is one thing that concerns me a little bit about it, and it's that we might not have special shots anymore, because in the trailer you see that there is a fever gauge that you fill up to use your fever racket, but there's no indication that there's a special gauge. And I did like how in Aces, each character had their own special shot for the most part, unique to them, and I think it would be really interesting to pair each of those special shots with a specific fever racket to make sort of your own build. And I think it would just give even more of a feel of customization to this game. The fact that you can pick the character that you like the special move of most and also pick the fever racket that you think would pair well with a special move like that, or with a character like that, depending on their weight class and speed or whatever. The announcer in the trailer does say that you can pair the rackets with characters, and I think that would be an odd thing to say. Maybe I'm looking too much into this, but I feel like that would be an odd thing to say if all 38 characters are ostensibly the same besides the fever rackets. So I think some sort of special shot could still happen. Maybe if you fill up your fever gauge all the way, you can then pull off a special shot. I think that would make sense, but we'll have to wait and see. I do hope those come back because it would add another layer of strategy and complexity and fun to the game. I am also excited about the extra modes that they teased in the trailer because they seem really cool. The first one is the classic tournament mode, and I love how in this one, the talking flower is the commentator. I think that's really fun. Trial Towers seems cool. You face 10 CPUs as you go up the tower one by one, and each CPU has a unique trait. For example, Spike with a bullet bill racket, and you also need to complete a specific objective to get past them. For example, having 20 returns in a match. It also appears you have 3 lives in this mode, and I'd be interested to see, are there difficulty options? Are there a lot of different towers to choose from to play through, and are there some that would be really hard to complete? I am also interested in this more generally for the extra modes. Like, how many more extra modes are we going to see? And more specifically, how many tournaments are there going to be? How many trial towers, like I said, are there going to be? The tournament mode is something that I really want to see expanded because in Aces, there were just 3 tournaments to complete in the base game. And, you know, each tournament had a lot of games that you played, but I would just like there to be a number of trophies to collect, not just 3. Especially considering we have 38 characters in the base game of Mario Tennis Fever. So there's a lot more opportunity for different tournaments and different brackets with all sorts of different characters because we have so many selections on the character roster. You also have Mix It Up mode, which seems really cool. You get these wacky stages with unique rule sets. We saw 2 in the trailer, those being Waluigi's Pinball, which is awesome, and also a Wonder Flower stage. This is another thing where I would like to see a lot of options here. Give me a good number of mix-it-up mode stages and rule sets. Don't just have a few and skimp out on this. Like, if you're going to have a cool side mode like this, really go all in on it. You then have the online, casual, and ranked modes, which is no surprise. That's, you know, what it was in Aces, what it was in Golf Super Rush. And I do like the online modes. I do like playing these games against strangers from around the world. It'd be cool if you could play the other modes like Mix It Up mode online. We'll have to see in that regard. I would also like, you know, maybe another online type mode. I don't know what that would be, but again, I just want more content, more options, more replay value. And I would like to see some extra modes that were not mentioned in this reveal trailer as well. Like, give me some other wacky stuff that I'm not even thinking of. But we'll have to see. And then my final thing I want to touch on here in this video is the story mode, which is something that I am really excited about. I really liked Mario Golf Super Rush's story mode. It was sort of a low-key RPG, like it wasn't that serious in terms of upgrading your character, but there was like a skill tree and, you know, upgrade points for various categories, various skill sets that your golf player had, and there was a little bit of a story. There were cool bosses. I thought the ending was really cool. Not to spoil anything, I really liked the final boss of Mario Golf Super Rush's campaign. So I'm hoping they just go all out here. I do like how in this story mode, you play as Baby Mario and not a me. I think that is just better. I think it's going to make for a better, more immersive, as stupid as that sounds, more immersive story. I like how you play as Baby Mario. It'd be cool if you switched between the different babies and they had different characteristics, but just playing as a specific character, I like that more. In general, I hate avatar characters. Never give me an avatar character. Give me a real freaking character. This is like one of my biggest gaming pet peeves. Like, just, I could, if there was never another game with an avatar character, I would be happy. I don't need a single avatar character game. I'm so serious. Like, give me an actual character to play as. I'm glad they've decided to do that here with the story mode. I also like how, similar to Super Rush, it takes place in this training school kind of area. I think that is really fun. I thought Super Rush did it well, and this one having the talking flowers all over the place will certainly make for a very funny little area to roam around in. You also see in the trailer one shot of Baby Mario walking around in a forest type area. I would love if this game not necessarily had an open world, but an interconnected one, because in Aces and Super Rush, you just selected levels off of a map. I would love if there was a little bit more exploration, a little bit more interactivity with this world and with these different trials. Probably not going to happen, but I think that'd be pretty cool. And I'm not sure what else I even want from this mode. I just would like it to be bigger and better than Super Rush's single-player campaign, which again, I did really like. I think it is, maybe the best single-player campaign of any Mario sports game. I thought it was really fun, had a really good final boss. Again, if you haven't played it, go play it, because I really did enjoy it, even though there was that one wind level that was really annoying and took me forever to finish. In general, I did really like Super Rush's campaign, and I mean, based off of the animated cutscene they showed us in this trailer, I think this one could be even better. It seems like there's a lot of intrigue here, a lot of cool things that you do, a lot of tasks they give you, so I'm just hoping they go above and beyond. Again, Camelot has had 5 years, essentially, to cook this game up. I'm hoping they've got something good for us in terms of the single-player campaign. So those are all the things that interested me from that Mario Tennis Fever reveal trailer. I thought it looked really darn cool, and again, is one of my more anticipated games of 2026. The only game I believe that has a date for next year solidified for Nintendo. They have a lot of games with a 2026 window, but this is the only one with a February release date. So I am really excited for it, and I hope we do get another trailer in a January or February Direct, and it gets us even more hype for the game. But tell me in the comments, are you excited for Mario Tennis Fever? Did you like Aces and Super Rush? And if not, did that reveal trailer sway you over to this side of someone who does really enjoy the Mario sports games of this Nintendo Switch era, even if I have qualms with the quality and the content of some of them? And that is something that I think I should stress here at the end of the video. That was the thing I was most excited about, seeing this trailer for Mario Tennis Fever. And it's that it doesn't seem like they're going to drip feed content for this game like they did for Mario Tennis Aces and Mario Golf Super Rush, right? There's 38 characters, 30 rackets, a whole bunch of side modes. It doesn't feel like they're holding anything back, which is really exciting to see from Camelot, who has done a lot of free updates that, are nice. I'm glad you're giving us free updates, but it just slows the momentum of the game. So I'm excited to see the Fever seemingly has a lot of content. Also, tell me in the comments, what characters do you think are going to make the gargantuan 38 playable character roster, and which characters would you like to see included in Mario Tennis Fever? Make sure to like the video, subscribe, hit that big fat button. I just released a video talking about Kirby Air Riders and more generally the legacy and greatness of Masahiro Sakurai, so if you want to check that out, it will be linked at the end and in the description. I enjoyed making that video. It was really a rant and a ramble, but you guys seem to like it as well, which was nice to see. Also, I've got a lot of cool stuff in the pipeline for this channel. It's going to be a busy fall for gaming, so if you don't want to miss any of that, or you don't want to miss any future live streams, make sure to subscribe to the channel and hit that freaking bell so you don't miss anything going on with our channel here. Also, I am live streaming a lot of Kirby Air Riders this month. You're going to see this video hopefully on the 1st of November. I'm live streaming Kirby Saturday the 8th, Saturday the 15th, Thursday the 21st on release day, and hopefully the Saturday thereafter as well. So 4 streams in 3 weeks is the idea. The first 2 will be a little bit shorter because they are going to be the global test ride, I think it's called, where we're going to get to demo the game. And then that Thursday night is going to be a fun one because, of course, the game will have come out. So you see it on screen, the schedule. I will continue to remind you all of that. But if you don't want to miss a fun few streams for Kirby Air Riders, make sure to subscribe and hit that bell so you will be notified, because I think it's going to be a lot of fun. Share the video with someone who's very excited for Mario Tennis Fever, or someone who needs a little convincing. And with all that said, I'll see you guys in the next one.